Okay.
Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete and certified lifestyle coach. And we got a special guest on the show today, an old friend, a business person, an entrepreneur, a person that's making it happen out in the community. And Staci, for those that don't know you, tell us who you are, what you do, and who you serve, and then we'll get into our podcast.
All right. Well, my name is Staci Hamilton. I am a realtor. I'm with Maximum One. I have offices in Hiram. I have an office in Marietta. I do a lot of work from my home, and I do a lot of work from my mobile office, the car. That's where I do the majority of my work. I'm always on the road. But, I can help buyers. I can help sellers, either or. I really enjoy helping buyers the most, I think. I just love going through that journey with them.
Yep.
And really searching and finding what they want. And when I uncover that hidden gem and they're like, Staci, that's the one, that's what makes my heart beat. So
Ooh, that is so good. I've heard it said a couple times, and I just want to get your feedback.
mm-hmm.
A person said to me, I mean, this was somebody I really knew. He said, he became a realtor and he did it with his wife. But he said, I don't know why I waited so long, because he was a corporate guy. So when you made the transition from a retail owner, an entrepreneur into real estate, what was it like for you in that transition?
Well, the transition started even further back from that, because I worked in corporate America for many years. I met my husband at a company called ERB in Woodstock. I moved on to work for other companies, but I landed at Russell Athletic. I worked there for a number of years. I led the marketing services department, and then I started having babies. And once we finished having babies and I tried to get back into the workforce, it was rather difficult for a woman who had been out of corporate America for almost a decade. So I took it upon myself. I kind of have that spirit in me. I kind of have that entrepreneurship in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I'm going to create my own company. And for years and years, I had a passion for event planning, and I had an event planning company for the longest time. Mm-hmm. It grew big enough that I told my husband, we've got to get a storage unit. We've got to do something. We're outgrowing the basement where I'm storing everything and serving these people. And I decided, well, let me open a retail store and open up the doors for the public to shop. And that is where I met Mr. Pete Kane. You were the first one. The shelves on the walls were still in pieces on the floor. I had the door open because it was hot in there. And Mr. Kane, you walked in and introduced yourself and made me feel so welcome in that West Cobb community.
I remember that.
Oh, that was the beginning of it all, Pete, because you introduced me not only to West Cobb Business Association, but a number of other people in the community. And that really opened up, just opened up my, what's the word I'm looking for? Just opened it up so people knew who I was. You helped me figure out where to go and what to do as a new entrepreneur in a new business. And goodness, that was probably like 12 years ago, something like that. But anyway, the store ran its course. I was trapped in those four walls for quite some time, and I loved every minute of it. I really did. It was a beautiful phase of my life, but I have the kind of personality that I really want to get out there. I want to get out there. I want to shake hands, be seen, do things, get involved with the community. And it was very hard to do that working in a retail establishment. And also, I mean, I don't regret a minute of it because it taught me so much about running my own business, right? And I loved every minute of it. But I think that happened at the right time in my life too, because retail has since kind of gone by the wayside, right? And so, 12 years ago, it was a different story, a different world.
Yes.
But after that, I met a whole lot of people through that process, and I realized what my calling was. Now, every time me and my husband have moved, and Chris, you met Chris through, or you introduced Chris to Dirk.
Yes.
And then they had office space together.
Yes. God, you know what? Just
So
until
many
you said
connections.
that, I had forgotten about that kind of that connection there. Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah. But so after I met so many people through that
Yep.
experience with retail, um where was I? So we've moved about 4 times. We got married in 2020
Mm-hmm.
and started out in Canton. My mother lived in Mableton, and throughout the years, we kind of inched closer and closer to her because she was getting older.
Yeah.
She passed in 2018,
Mm.
and throughout those processes, I always handled all of that. And I
Yeah.
just realized, why in the world am I not just doing this for other people? Because
Mm-hmm.
I have the kind of personality. I'm kind of a hand holder. I'm kind of a more guidance I offer. I try to help as much as I can.
Yep.
So I decided, let's do it. So I jumped right in, both feet running, and it has been the best choice I've ever made. Just like you were saying,
Yeah.
why didn't I do this so many years ago? Because
Yes.
it fits me. I love this industry. I love the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you know anything about real estate, it is definitely a roller coaster. It's
Yes.
feast or fathom. It's not, or feast or famine, rather. It's not boring. It's
Yeah.
never boring. And
Yes.
so I like that about it. I like running off adrenaline. I like that, I love it. I just love it. I
Yeah.
love helping people. Everyone that I've helped, I've truly made a difference. And that's impactful to me.
That's beautiful. What do you think? This was many years later. I met a person,
Mm-hmm.
and when I went in and I was introducing myself, and he said, well, I was actually into podcasting. So I went out in the community just to meet people. And he says, well, I'm closing up tomorrow, so I wouldn't be interested. And I said, like, why? And what got you to closing up? And he says, I'm going back to Lockheed. And I got in a conversation with him about, if we sit in a place and wait for people to come meet us,
Mm-mm.
it never works. You got to get out in the community.
Yes.
So talk to our viewers, because I still go out in the community and I see people in their business. And yes, you have to be there, but there's an element of getting out and building relationships. So how important is it for people to build those relationships?
Yes, it's of the utmost importance. It is of extreme importance because you've got to get out there. You've got to show people that you're reliable, that you're dependable, that you're busy, that you can accommodate their schedules. You've got to get out there. You show people the busier you are, the busier you will become, right? But also you have to show up. You've got to, recognition and repetition. Those are the keys to getting people to come to you. You've got to show up to where they are. So a large part of my success as a realtor is the aspect of networking. So just getting out there with everybody and not necessarily selling. I'm not looking for the next person to buy or sell a house today. That's not going to work. I'm getting out there just to introduce myself because people do business with people they know, like, and trust, right?
Absolutely.
And so you have to get out there and you have to let them get to know you. You got to soften them up a little, and you've got to just open up and don't try to fake it. Don't try to be someone you're not, because then you'll attract the wrong tribe, right?
Yep.
So you've got to get out there and you've got to just show yourself and show up and show them that consistency matters. And I'm in this for the long haul. Doesn't matter if that roller coaster's on the high or you're in the valley. I am there for you and I will be there for you, and then they see that I'm there for my clients. I tell the stories of what's going on and how this is happening. And they see that I'm there for my clients. And that's just a testimonial to the way I do business, and they get to know me. And like I tell it, I stand up in front of a lot of people at networking events, and I say, there's probably not anyone in this room today looking to buy or sell a house. I mean, Pete, are you looking to buy or sell a house today? No, but put me in your back pocket, because one day you're going to be at the grocery store, or you're going to be at that kid's conference, and the teacher's going to say, wow, we just had a baby. and we need more space. And then you can say, hey, I know somebody. And you
Mhm.
can refer me confidently because you know me already. And
Mhm.
that is the whole key, I believe, to a successful business, is what an honor it is for somebody to refer you to
Mhm.
somebody else that they love and trust. That is a testament to who you are. And it just makes me so proud when
Mhm.
people refer me, because Pete, that's all I do is try to do a good job and try to make sure that who I'm helping, I'm really taking care of them, because this is a huge life milestone, right?
Yes.
This is not a simple process.
Right.
And there's a lot of red tape, a lot of minutia to go through. And I'm just really good at leading people and making sure that, they're on the right track, and I'm doing the best that I can for them. And I'm negotiating hard for them. I'm a great negotiator. I can really get them what they want. And I'm just good at that. And I enjoy it. That's the key right there.
Right. What do you think, being a retail owner and entrepreneur, how did that prepare you for your real estate journey?
Mm-hmm. It's the customers. It's just people in general.
Mhm.
Because in retail, you are constantly helping people, whether it's, because of the smallest thing or the biggest thing. It doesn't matter. It's how you approach it, how you take care of them. It doesn't matter what the widget is, right? You learned that in Marketing 101 when you were in college way back in the day. But it doesn't matter what the widget is. You take care of people. You take care of them and their concerns. They might have major concerns over this widget, but you treat it as though it's something much bigger. You always give them your full attention and the benefit of the doubt, because to them that is very important, which makes it very important to you.
Wow, that's so good. Well, I was always impressed in the real estate industry because you were in your own business and learning is so important. There was always a desire for realtors to keep learning, continuous
Yes.
education.
Yes.
How do you approach that topic? There's a lot of information out there. How
Mm-hmm.
do you continue to grow without being overwhelmed with
Yeah.
information?
Yeah. Sometimes it is overwhelming, but that's okay. CE classes are very helpful, and we have to keep up with those CE classes to
Mhm.
keep our licenses up to date. But there is a lot going on with I'm sorry, I got distracted. I have pets. I have dogs, and they're very interested in what I'm doing right now. And they're being quiet though.
Oh, that's
I'm very
good.
happy that they're
Yeah,
being
they're
quiet.
respectful of mom being on a
Yes.
podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So rewind. What was the question again?
Yeah, so we have a lot of information out there.
Oh,
We're continuously learning. How do you approach
yes.
your learning?
Yeah. So the CE classes. So I do take those, but the biggest thing is I love to engulf myself in the real estate world. So I listen to podcasts all the time. I
Mhm.
am a realtor, and there's a difference between a realtor and an agent. I am a member of the National Association of Realtors, which is the largest trade association in the United States. And they offer a lot of training. My broker, Maximum One, offers a lot of training and a lot of good information. And you can't just sit back and relax and wait for somebody to call you to sell their property or whatever. You have to put it out there that, no, this is what is happening in the industry. This is how it's working. This would be a good time for you to put it on market. Buyers, this is
Mhm.
how you should approach, you're purchasing a home. And I'm always listening. I'm always listening to the experts in the industry, not only through the National Association of Realtors, but through top real estate agents in the nation.
Mhm.
Just to be engulfed in all of that, just to really get involved in what they're saying and what they're talking about. That helps me. That helps me keep up to date. That helps me keep current on what's going on.
Ooh, that's so good. We didn't grow up like our kids with technology, and so it's moving very fast. We have AI coming on the scene,
Yes.
been on the scene for a while. How do you handle the technology part of your business?
Yes. Yeah. Well, at the beginning, I tried to do everything on my own. I tried to make it work, and I'm running, in all different directions, working 24/7, or what I say 25/8. I'm working all the time, right? And that's okay when you're starting up a business. That's how it's supposed to be, really. You got to learn what you're doing. You got to figure out what direction you're going.
Yep.
Then you really concentrate on what you're an expert in. You have to concentrate on what you're good at. And you hire people to help you with the other aspects of it. So the technology part, I'm decent. I mean, I'm not, the greatest, but I know my way around social media. I can create graphics. I've been in marketing all my life. My degree is in marketing. I have a bachelor's degree in marketing, associate's degree in merchandising, and throughout my corporate jobs, I led a team of graphic designers. So I've got that part kind of wrapped up. So once everything was set, then I go and I enlist people who are more familiar with technology, who are more familiar with the different platforms of social media. And, AI has just come and hit us like a bolt of lightning, especially since last year, right?
Yes.
And I believe that's kind of what has helped the economy too, and real estate market stabilize, because that interest in AI and how do you apply it to your business to grow your business, to make it work. That's kind of given a little bit of life to the economy. But AI is a big deal, and I've dabbled in it a little bit. I haven't. I'm one of those who use Chat GPT. I'm learning about other programs, especially in the real estate industry. There's all kinds of great options for marketing properties. And now I have delved into the next level of marketing properties where AI is involved, and the videos are more robust, and they're just more dynamic, and they give you more excitement to attract more attention. And that's the next level, especially as a realtor. You gotta keep up with the step up. You got to keep up with what's going on, in technology, make sure you're not left behind.
Yeah, so true, because it's not going to get any slower, and we have to have that pace of learning.
Yes.
I remember this was about 3.5, maybe 4 years ago. My partner, who has an AI agency, he said, "Well, Pete, what are you doing with AI in your business?" And I said, "I don't have time for that. I'm just enjoying." I just shut down. Well, I didn't shut it down. It shut down myself. The digital marketing part after my stroke, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of look at something else. So I really enjoyed the podcasting part. Yes. But anyway, he kept after me, kept asking me. And finally, when I did my first course 3.5 years ago, I used his version of Chat GPT, and it literally almost fell out of my chair. I mean, it gave me a framework, through a couple promptings that it would have taken me a year to do that, because grammar was never my thing. So putting together that structure was like, it just wasn't in me. But I realized how fast it could help, how much it could take me to another level of doing things.
Right.
When you were first dabbling with AI, what was the moment in your journey that all of a sudden you went, "Wow, this thing is powerful"?
It is, yeah. I think too, I kind of compare it to, I'm old enough that we didn't always do videos for social media. I mean, I think the pandemic really spurred that, right? And doing videos, you thought, "Oh, I'm not going to get on video. No, I'm too embarrassed," or this and that. And you put it on the back burner. Well, it quickly became evident that you better get on the ball and you better do some videos, because otherwise everybody else is going to surpass you, right? Yes. I think AI is the same way. I think we got to get on board and we got to figure it out. We got to figure out what AI can do for us and how to make our marketing more robust. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. But I don't know. I think it's just the more listings I get, the different ways to promote those listings. I think that's where AI really came into play for me. I'm like, wait a second, I could sit, at my computer and use CapCut or use Canva or whatever, use the video app on my phone. I can sit here for hours and I can put it together and I can make it do exactly what I want. But now why? There are so many options out there, and you don't have to use exactly what it gives you, right? Because sometimes, especially in real estate, there are these programs out there, and you've seen the videos where it comes in and it goes out, and it's really static images, but it looks like a video, right?
Yes.
And if you hand it over to a company who just throws that together for you, before long you're going to see a powder room instead of a sink. It's going to be like a half table with chairs around it because AI can't register exactly what's going on there.
Yeah.
So you still have to touch it. You still have to, tweak it. You have to tweak it to make it right, to make sure that it's right. But what an incredible tool, though. What a time saver. What an incredible time saver, because as much as I love doing all that, I love being creative. I really do. I love that part of it. My time needs to be spent out in the community.
Yes.
Out in public, introducing myself, introducing my company, telling people everything about me so they can get to know me.
Yep.
So that in the future, they may want to do business with me.
Yeah, that is so good. What do you think, habits are something we like to create. Is there a habit that you created in your real estate journey that has served you well?
Oh, goodness. I think my habit is the calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it really doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And there's a book called Atomic Habits, and there's a lot of great information in that book, right?
Yep.
But do whatever you're thinking about doing. If you can't do the entire thing right then, at least make a note of it on your calendar to do it at another time. And stop what you're doing. Just stop what you're doing for a second and put, call Pete Kane and put it in your calendar just so that it's in there. Because just following, that's what I do. I mean, my habit every morning, I get ready, I go through my morning ritual.
Right.
And then the first thing I do is I sit down, I go over my calendar. And I make sure I not only go over today, the day that I'm in, but I go over the last 2 or 3 days, because, sometimes things are missed, right? You got to make sure that all those boxes are checked.
Yes.
I'm a big proponent of checking boxes. That's very satisfying to me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is my biggest habit, is just, making sure that everything on my calendar is taken care of.
What do you, when it comes to networking, because we talked a little bit about, what would be your best advice for somebody just getting into networking? Because there's so many out there.
Yes.
How would you advise somebody that's just putting their big toe into networking?
Yeah. That's a great question. Such a great question. I'm really passionate about that, because I think that is your biggest marketing channel as a small business, is networking. That should be at the top of the pyramid. That's what you should do first and foremost. But going out and meeting people, that is where the magic happens. That's how you make sure people know what you're all about. And which groups? I get this question a lot. Which group, Staci, is the best group to network with? Because of course I lead a women's networking group called Experience Connections, and it's just women based. I'm a co-leader of Paulding Connect, which is a community networking group that meets once a week. I'm also an officer for the Cobb Business Women's Association that meets at the Marietta Country Club. I am real involved in the community, but when people ask me, Staci, what is the best group to network with? Point me in the right direction. Tell me where to go. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter what group you choose. Stick with that group.
Yes.
Be consistent.
Love that. Recognition
and repetition are the keys to being a success in that group, because you want to keep showing up. You want to show people that you're dependable, that you're reliable. And if you spread yourself too thin and you're going to too many different things and you're not consistent and you're like, I've been going for a month, I went to these, it doesn't matter. You have to stick with it. Nothing happens overnight, And anything worth having, any success worth getting, it takes hard work, right? And it's the same thing with networking. You got to put in the passion. You got to put in the work. You got to show up and be dependable. So pick one group, maybe go to a few to see which one you actually fit in and which one you like the best. But then focus on that group. Focus on that group and really get intertwined with that group. And once you establish that presence, once you really are grounded and rooted in that group, then maybe go to the second group. And then you start that process over again. But don't give up on this group. Keep consistent in your original, keep that footing, and then kind of use that one as your leverage for the next group. Invite people from this first group. Hey, come to group B over here. This one's a great group too. So now what you have is somebody who knows and likes and trusts you. Now they're coming over to your new group. And now they're saying, hey, yeah, I know Staci. She's great. This and that. So they're giving me credibility, right? So now automatically in my second group, it's not going to take as long to get up to that next tier like I did with group number one. And then you lather, rinse, repeat, and, go to the third one. Now I have 3 groups that I'm really involved in. And then I'm also involved in the chamber.
Okay.
That's a 4th group, but my core networking, there's 3. And that's about enough. Like that spreads you not too thin, but it gives you a good, radius to touch a lot of people.
What would you say when it comes to, buying and selling homes? There are some people that live in their home for 40, 50 years, but there's people that turn over, they move every 5 years. How do you keep your name out in front of people with cycles that are that long? Because we know if they do business with Staci and they have that great, hey, I love that experience. We always want to keep that our name out there. How do you keep your name in front of people because of the cycle of real estate?
Yeah. Well, the first step is to have a good CRM. You do want something that's automated because we're not all superheroes, right? You can't remember everything all the time. So have a good CRM system in place so that you can do a drip campaign. You can do something to keep in touch with them. Send them good, valuable pieces of information. Don't inundate them with spam. Don't send, something. I don't even do it once a week because I want to make sure that I'm not annoying them. I'm not offering too much information. But like with my past clients, I definitely keep in touch with them moving forward because they're good referrals and they may move again one day, but they have experienced my service. So they are golden to me because the referrals they make, those are true from their heart, right? Because they've actually worked with me before. So I want to make sure that those people in particular, I stay in contact with. And it's nothing more than, it's not calling them to talk about the market or are you ready to sell yet? Is your daughter ready to sell yet? Nothing like that. It's just, hey, I was riding down the road and I thought about you today. You want to go to lunch next week? Or how's business going? I remember your daughter got married last year. How's that going? Whatever, make it personal and just reach out and just little touch points so that you stay top of mind. Because one day they will need somebody in your industry. It's just a matter of time. And hopefully with you staying top of mind. And, I have a great, I have a direct mail campaign too. And I know it's old school, but I tell you what, it's impactful. It really is. And it gets me a lot of, it gets my phone ringing and it gets me a lot of people interested in what I have to do. And, I share that direct mail campaign too with other companies. I'll ask them if they want to partner and they can advertise on it too. And it really has helped grow my business exponentially with the direct mail campaign. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's, the thing about, you said something earlier, there's 2 different mindsets, the transactional and the more relational. When I see like people, I first meet them this is like maybe people calling me for LinkedIn or something like that,
Yeah.
and they're immediately go into the sales mode, like, and I don't know them from Adam.
Yeah.
How do you approach that relationship building?
Hmm.
Like, is there anything you do
Yeah.
on a regular basis to establish
Yeah.
those relationships?
Well, seeing as I'm in real estate, the question that most people want to know is how much value is my property? How much is my property worth? So there's a report called a comparative market analysis. And this is a really robust report that has a lot of detail, and it shows comparables in the neighborhood,
Hmm.
and it gives them great information on how much their home is worth. Now, when you present valuable information to people, they they're receptive, right? I mean, you've given them something of
Yeah.
value. You're not just bothering them, you know? And so that's kind of my touch point. I reach out to people and I give them this beautiful report full of great information. Now, whether they're ready to sell or not, it doesn't matter, because the value of that is it's going to tell them approximately how much equity they have in their home, right?
Hmm.
And then they can use that. Sure, they can use that and ask me to help them find a new home, or they can take that information to a financial advisor. They can take it to a lender. And then, they can help them determine what to do with
Hmm.
that money. Mine is just one step towards here. This is how I can help you. And that's really what I'm in this for. And I think something like that really proves that to them, because I'm not expecting anything out of that CMA, that comparative market analysis report. I'm not expecting anything out of it immediately. I am just offering valuable information that they can actually use. It's not just frou-frou information that matters not to them. It will really help them. So I
Right.
think that matters, the kind of things that you offer to people.
No,
Don't put them on a spam list and email them your newsletter all the time.
no, that is so wise. I've noticed in my many years that realtors are more like work a lot more than others. And so
You've
how
noticed
do
that?
yeah, and it's like, because I'll be with them and the phone will ring, and it's just
Yeah.
like it is very tempting to work, like you said, 8 days a week,
Yes.
5 hours. How do you set boundaries? What do
Yes.
you like to do as far as unwinding?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question, because when I first started in this business, oh, it was a chaotic life, Pete. It
Hmm.
really was, because there's so much going on. And I felt like, if I don't answer the phone, I'm going to miss the biggest opportunity of my life. And I had
Hmm.
to retrain my brain. I had to
Hmm.
retrain myself. If it's going to happen, it will happen, and it's fine. And I will connect with these people that are trying to reach me at 9 and 10 o'clock at night. I will connect with them tomorrow. And if they find fault in me not answering the phone at 9 or 10 o'clock, then that's probably not my tribe.
Yeah,
That's
I
probably not the kind of customer I want to work
would
with
agree
anyway.
with you. Yes.
So if they understand, because sometimes, most of the people I deal with they're working their 9 to 5. So nights and weekends are when they're available to do whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
But if I'm cooking dinner, if I'm with the family, I'll shut it off for a few minutes to make sure that I have that family time, that I cook dinner, that I'm doing that part.
Mhm.
Text them before I'm going to bed. Sorry, I can't talk to you tonight, but I'll get back in touch with you in the morning. I won't lie to you. That's a hard task. It's a
Yeah.
hard task to balance that, because I want to help everyone as much as I can, but
Mm.
not everybody just wants help from, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can't,
Mhm.
that's not possible.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's hard, but I think I'm pretty good at multitasking. I'm pretty
Mhm.
good at juggling things. You kind of learn that as a mother of three, a
Yes.
wonderful husband. You kind of learn how to juggle different things. And I think that has kind of trickled over into my business life. And like we talked about before, the store, the retail, that whole retail atmosphere and everything, that was a huge juggling act. So all of my past experiences kind of culminated into this profession and
Right.
helped me refine it and I'm still figuring out things as
Yeah.
I'm going along. And some, like this is a busy season for realtors. Springtime is a big deal. So sometimes, the other night I was telling my husband, I don't know, I came home, something was happening, and he's like, whatever, you want to watch a movie? And I'm like, oh, I can't, I got to go do this report. And he was like, but then he was like, no, I get it. I understand. And he does. He's very supportive and very helpful. But it's this time of year. So this time of year, I'm a little bit busier than normal, but that's okay with me, because the real estate market, being in this profession is very cyclical. So, there's times that nothing's going on and there's times that everything's going on. And you kind of have to take advantage of those, those busier times. So
what do you think, do you do that kind of gets that brain shifting to some, entertainment, or what activities have you been able to do to kind of get that separation or?
I don't know. I'm not going and playing pickleball. I'm not, I'm not doing things like that. I think mine is more refined, like just spending some time with the kids or spending some time with my husband. We like to go estate sale shopping or finding, we like to do that a lot. My husband is very interested, as well as I am, in real estate. We love to look at properties. We love to, see different ideas from different houses and then apply them to our house. We do a lot of, I don't want to call it decorating work, because he's more, he has that carpenter aspect in him, so he can do a lot. So, I'm always like, oh, I found this great idea. Do you think you can build this for me? Do you think we can do this? Do you think we can paint this? Do you think we can apply this? And he's always on board, and he helps me, and we do different things to the house. And I think that's probably why we moved like we do, because I love a new challenge. I love the change. I love redecorating something. I love, just reforming it into something else on the next level. And he's on board with me like that. So we make a good team.
Oh, that's beautiful. I keep track of birthdays, and Dirk's birthday is coming up.
Oh yeah.
So, he's up in the North Georgia mountains and enjoying himself there. So I haven't talked to him probably 6 months or a little bit more than that. So I'm going to call him. So I'm so glad.
Chris and Staci Hamilton.
Yes, exactly. I had forgotten about that part. It's funny because you'll get with people like at a wedding or a different event, and they'll bring up things, and I'm going, I didn't remember that. And it's like our brain will remember certain things, but we can't remember everything because we have so much going on. But certain things, when you just said that, I went, dang, that's right.
Yes. Yeah.
So I want to be respectful of your time, Staci. So I have one question after this, but tell our viewers, how can they get a hold of Staci?
Well, my website is sunflowerhomes.net, and you can get my phone number and email and everything there. You can get on all my social platforms. I would love for you to follow me. Staci Hamilton Realtor is where you'll find me on social media. My name's spelled with an I, so Staci. But reach out to me anyway. My phone rings a lot, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of it is spam calls and different companies targeting realtors. So the best way to contact me, the first initial contact, is a text, because that'll come through no matter what. Sometimes my phone picks up spam calls that aren't actually spam calls, and it's a little crazy. But just text me. It's 404-917-6728, and that's on the website too. But even if people just want to have a conversation about, that's the biggest thing. People are like, I don't even know where to start. What do I even do?
Yes.
Well, I'm a great resource for that. It doesn't mean you have to sell tomorrow or have to go buy a house tomorrow. It just means that I can help you map out the steps to get you where you need to go, whether it's next month, 6 months from now, 5 years from now. So,
and my daughter moved back into town, and she's in Roswell, and so she was, trying to source out different people like a dentist and all the people that, because the areas, and I was sharing with her, find a realtor, because realtors
Right.
always know everybody.
That's
So
right.
I always say on like if share this video with somebody you know that needs to know people, because
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah.
Searching in Google to find somebody, you're rolling dice. But when
That's
somebody says,
right.
"Hey, you got to call Staci.
Mhm.
She can do
Yeah.
this. She can do that." That's the best time to
Mhm.
really lean in to
Yeah.
that referral, because
And that's so funny. That is funny you say that, because I do that. That is what I pride myself in,
yeah,
because I
I
meet so many
I
people and I
know.
know if they do a good or a bad
Yes,
job. I know who to recommend. I know
yes,
what route to send people on. And I think too, that establishes that trust. Remember how we
yes,
talked about know, like, and trust? I think that
totally.
establishes that trust factor too, because people, they know that I'm going to send them on the positive route, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I love doing that. I love getting involved with the community. I love boasting on good small businesses and what they've done for the community. So, yeah, absolutely. I love those connections.
Well, I will say for people listening, if you go to the show notes, you'll see all of Stacy's information. So
Yes.
if you didn't pick it up when she was sharing that with you, just go into the show notes and you'll get that. So Stacy, what would be the one thing that you would want our viewers to take home from our time on this podcast?
Oh, goodness. Um, I guess just know that I am truly in this business to help people and to share the knowledge that I have about real estate with them and to help them reach that milestone in their life, because it's a tough path. It's complicated. There's a lot of
Mhm.
intricacies, and I'm here to help you through it. That's all. And I love it. I love doing it. So it doesn't matter if you buy a house. It just matters to me that I've helped you. It gives me satisfaction knowing that your questions were answered and you can move on to the
Mhm.
next level or the next phase of your life with the right information.
Whoa,
So,
that is
yeah.
beautiful. Thank you, Stacy. I
Well, thank
appreciate you
you.
spending time with us on this podcast in our community. So
Yes.
thank you so much for carving out the time.
Well,
We
thank you